Good evening. I have to speak really clearly into the microphone because my voice has left me by the end of the semester. But I am Dr. Erica DeQueer, and on behalf of the School of Education and our chair, Dr. Doren Medlin, I want to welcome you to our Fall 2025 pinning ceremony. This is a ceremony that honors our graduates and future teachers as they prepare to enter the teaching profession. Thank you to our supportive faculty, administrators, school partners, and friends who have traveled here tonight to celebrate with us. Without the love and support of our families, faculty, and cooperating teachers, our graduates could not have reached this milestone. To our graduates, never stop believing in yourself. You've already proven that nothing can stand in the way when it comes to accomplishing your dreams. We are so very proud of you. Greetings and welcome to our Fall 2025 pinning ceremony.
Thank you, Dr. Queer and Logan Ford. You're welcome. As we go throughout the night, our graduates have been tasked with sharing some of their favorite quotes or reflections. Our next reflection or quote comes from Ms. Taylor Brown. And Taylor's quote that she has used throughout the semester to get her through this student teaching, she says, throughout her placement, she embraced the quote, "Every day is a new day to get it right," and using it as a motivation to extend grace to herself and stay committed to growth. At this time, we'll have Ms. Brittany Taylor come up and share a poem with us, followed by Dr. Anthony Asa, Professor of Education, who will share the history of the pen.
Good evening, everyone. Today we celebrate our student candidates, the future heartbeat of education. Teaching is more than a profession. It is a calling that nurtures growth, builds strength, and leaves a lasting legacy. Much like ancient rivers, educators shape the world quietly yet powerfully, carving pathways of knowledge, compassion, and opportunity for generations to come. To honor this calling, I would like to share a beautiful poem by Paula J. Fox titled Heart of a Teacher. The child arrives like a mystery box with puzzle pieces inside. Some are broken, some hidden, but the heart of a teacher can sort them out and help the child see the greatness within. Her goal isn't just to teach knowledge, it's to put the pieces together, to create a work of art. She creates a classroom where the child feels safe, valued, and loved, where curiosity is welcome and kindness guides every choice. She models character, respect, and strength, gives freedom to make choices, and encourages the child to stand tall, think for himself, and believe in his own power. Piece by piece, the child discovers joy, confidence, and the belief that he can succeed. His vision expands, his spirit grows, and the puzzle inside takes shape with pride. All because a hero was there, a teacher with a heart who truly cared. When asked what she loved to teach, she smiled. It's not the subjects that matter, it's all about teaching the child. As we reflect on these words, may we remember that the heartbeat of education and the flow of ancient rivers share the same purpose, to nurture, strengthen, and guide every learner towards their greatest potential. Thank you.
Okay, moving on. Another quote from one of our new teachers. This young lady shared that her favorite quote or scripture comes from Jeremiah 29:11, in which she brought hope, optimism, and purpose into her classroom each day. That comes from Miss Alicia Anderson. At this time, we will have Brittany Brinkley come to the stage to introduce our keynote speaker.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I am Anthony Owusu-Ansah, and one of the old teachers around here. My task this afternoon is to sort of define PEN, Professional Embracing the Novice. The Professional Embracing the Novice pinning ceremony represents the passing of the torch of pedagogical knowledge and the responsibility that comes with it. This ceremony is a pivotal moment in the journey of pre-service teachers, as it marks the accumulation of years of hard work, academic pursuits, and the transition from student learner to professional educator. Albany State University's Educator Preparation Program believes inducting new teachers into the profession is vital to the success of beginning teachers because it signifies a future teacher's acknowledgement and acceptance of responsibility for facilitating all learners. Moreover, it recognizes the novice teacher's broader commitment to society to engage, understand, support, transform, and inspire all learners. The pinning ceremony is a symbolic rite of passage and a time-honored tradition marking the occasion when the novice practitioner is welcomed into the teaching profession. Realizing the goal from student to professional is accomplished with assistance of veteran and retired teachers willing to mentor beginning teachers, thus making the concept of a professional embracing the novice that's PEN a reality. Albany State University adopted the pinning ceremony in the fall of 2001 as a precursor to a forthcoming National Council for Accreditation of Teacher Education NK visit, scheduled for the spring semester of 2003. At ASU, as this mentoring concept was nurtured, each subsequent year, the new teachers were provided with additional support via the pinning ceremony process as they embarked upon their teaching careers. Beginning their field experiences in the schools, the pinning ceremony marks a milestone in the teacher candidates' commitment to lifelong learning and professionalism. The professional educator will pin the novice practitioner during the pinning ceremony. Additionally, contact information will be exchanged between the two educators to call upon each other for advice or support as needed. The School of Ecucation believes that celebrating teacher candidates with the pinning ceremony validates their decision to enter an increasingly demanding field, one well known for its noble purpose. Teachers have three loves: love of learning, love of learners, and the love of bringing the first two loves together. That's the quote by Scott Hayden. The School of Education is proud of its graduates, knowing that they have been trained to become reflective, impactful, adaptable, and technologically competent practitioners. We further submit to you, the public, that these novice teachers are truly bona fide, certified, and highly qualified. Therefore, with pens and a pledge, education majors commit to teaching and are prepared to take their place among their future colleagues, teaching, guiding, motivating, empowering, and inspiring the next generation of learners. Thank you very much.
Okay, now Brittany will come forward, Ms. Brinkley, and introduce to us our guest speaker for tonight.
Good evening, everyone. It's my honor to introduce our distinguished speaker for today's pinning ceremony, Mr. Morris Lamar Arrington, who served as my university supervisor this semester for student teaching. Mr. Arrington is a native of Thomasville, Georgia, and the eldest child of the late Lamar and Mary Arrington. He began his journey at Susie Dunlap Elementary School in 1961 and graduated from Thomasville High School in 1973. He earned both his Bachelor of Arts and Master's degrees from Georgia Southwestern College before beginning his teaching career. He has taught at the high school, middle school, and elementary levels for 22 years, dedicating himself as a nurturing teacher. He echoes the late newscaster Roger Mudd's words that there is no profession more selfless, caring, or vital to democracy than teaching. In 1998, he earned his leadership certification from West Georgia University and later received an educational specialist degree from Nova Southeastern University in 2000. He holds administrative certifications in Georgia, Florida, and South Carolina. He has served as the assistant principal of McIntyre Park Middle School and Brunswick High School, principal of Scott Elementary and Burroughs Millette Elementary Schools, and the deputy superintendent of Hampton District 2, overseeing curriculum, instruction, and assessment. In 2013, Mr. Arrington began working with student teachers at Albany State University as a university supervisor. And in 2014, he became an adjunct instructor, teaching education courses, including practicums 1, 2, 3, and instruction assessment. He also served his part-time faculty member of Capella University, mentoring graduate students in leadership. Throughout his career in Glenn County, he received numerous awards, such as Teacher of the Month in Glenn Middle School in 1992, 94, and 96. Who's Who Among American Teachers in 1994, NIA Club of Glenn Academy Appreciation Award in 1994, Glenn County Association of Educators Presidential Award in 1995, First Jordan Grove Educator Award in 2007, Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Lambda Tau Chapters Education Leadership Award in 2006 to 2007, and Shiloh Baptist Church Community Award in 2008. In his hometown, Mr. Arrington is a member of St. Luke's CME Church and a member of Thomasville Alpha Coalition, working towards the local graduate charter from Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity. He was named Mr. Juneteenth of Thomasville Thomas Foundation in 2023 and served as Grand Marshal of the City of Thomasville's Black History Celebration in 2025. His professional mantra is inspired by Romans 12, 7 through 8. If a man's gift is teaching, let him teach. He truly embodies his calling in all that he does. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Morris Lamar Arrington to the podium.
First of all, I want to say good evening. That was one of the few times Morris Arrington is nervous, and that's highly unlike me. I want to thank Brittany for that introduction, and I also want to thank you for that email response that you sent me when I wrote your letter of recommendation. It was priceless. Good evening. Good evening or good afternoon to the department officials, Penning students, family, friends, and supporters. We are here to celebrate the accomplishments of 12 aspiring teachers in this annual rite of passage ceremony, the Penning ceremony. And this year's theme is, like ancient rivers, nurturing depth, strength, and legacy in education. I've decided this afternoon to make my topic, education is like an ancient river, which nurtures depth, strength, and leaves a profound legacy. For about 10 years in my Practical 1 class, my first assignment has always been that I give to my students, why do you want to be a teacher? And from that essay assignment, I can tell why my students want to become a teacher and whether teaching is truly a calling for them. Over the last 10 years, I normally hear the following responses. I had a teacher who inspired me. As a child, I knew I wanted to teach. I was a parapro and I've decided to become certified. And that classic answer, something within me, within my spirit, tells me that I truly can make a difference. Teaching truly is a calling. It is the highest calling known to humankind, except for the calling to preach the gospel. I also share with my students that when I started in 1979, I did not hear the calling to teach until my 7th year. One day, a young lady came to my classroom, my reading classroom in Brunswick, Georgia. Her name was Dr. Sally Boyette, and she read the Teddy Stollard story. And that story changed me. It made me a different teacher and a different person. I vividly remember that fateful day. And after listening to that story, I truly heard the call to teach. I abandoned my ways of thinking that because I came from a solid 2-parent middle-class home with a college, a master's degree, that I was far different. The Teddy Stollard story was about a young man named Teddy who had personal and academic issues. His 4th grade teacher, Mrs. Thompson, viewed him as a failure. One day, around Christmas time, Teddy brought his teacher a Christmas gift. It was cheaply wrapped and very loud perfume. Mrs. Thompson was stunned. The children laughed, but Mrs. Thompson took and put that perfume on, and she gave Teddy many compliments. Teddy gave Miss Thompson that perfume because it was the perfume of his deceased mother. At that point, Mrs. Thompson viewed Teddy differently, and eventually she took time to nurture him. And Teddy eventually became very successful in life. The point of this story is, do not write off a student. I am so happy in 1961 that my 1st grade teacher, Mrs. Malone, did not write me off because I came from the public housing projects. Because I was the type of student who did not like school, not even in the 1st grade. I was too happy when May came, and I started an annual tradition. This is the end of May. I made 1st grade. I have 11 years to go. I so disliked school that in high school I doubled up and I graduated early at the age of 16, only to go to college but spend 45 years of my life in the teaching profession. The Teddy Stollard story is one of the most famous educational stories. But in today's real world, the students that we teach, inspire, and motivate are dealing with trauma. Parents who are sometimes afraid of ICE raids and the possibilities that their mother might not receive SNAP benefits. So it is very important to remember that when you enter the teaching profession, teaching is performing a service, not an 8 to 4 job. Teaching is beyond those hours. Society expects a teacher to be a teacher 24/7, not only in your service and your dedication, but also in your behavior. As you will learn, graduates, teachers are required to serve many roles: nurses, You have to be a nurse sometimes, the custodian, the counselor, a second mom and dad, a confidant, and many other roles. But society needs to understand that AI, artificial intelligence, can assist the teacher, but AI cannot become the teacher. Technology has its place in the classroom, but when the technology board breaks down, when the principal, assistant principal, instructional coach leaves the classroom, and when professional learning is over, it is the duty of the classroom teacher to stand and deliver the lesson. And I always tell my students, an effective teacher cannot teach sitting behind the desk. Research even states the most dominant effect on a student's learning is the classroom teacher. And not only the classroom teacher, but the highly effective classroom teacher. With this afternoon's topic, education is like an ancient river that nurtures depth, strength, and leaves a profound legacy. The element of depth is aligned to professional development. Without professional development, which is called professional learning, you will not have a promising career in teaching. Please adhere to the following PL tips that I'm going to give you if you want to keep your job. Take professional learning seriously and grow. Yes, we have equipped you properly at ASU with many courses in the field of education. Yes, you should be using Robert Marzano's best practices on a daily basis and also implementing the gradual release of responsibility model. Although your student teaching experience has provided you with a snapshot of your duties and responsibilities as a teacher, your first year alone in the classroom provides the true picture of teaching. And the key to survival that first year of teaching is professional learning. Don't develop a negative attitude about those sessions. Don't listen to what I call the PL haters who will tell you, oh, it's just a waste of time. Do not drink any of that haterade. Once you successfully complete your first year of teaching, continue to grow professionally. Professional depth is the hallmark of survival in teaching. As a principal, I would always tell my new teachers after the end of year one, well, you made it through year one. Now, when you come back for year two, I want to see a different teacher. I do not want you to reteach year one for the next 10 years. But once you actually start to teach it, there is a whole new world of educational research. Embrace it. Strive to become the effective teacher. I love this quote that I heard in 1987. The mediocre teacher tells, the good teacher explains, the superior teacher demonstrates, but the great teacher inspires. Professional learning provides you with that depth. With all the professional learning sessions that you'll have, there are some lessons you, the teacher, must develop through trial and error, especially when it comes to the big D, discipline. With discipline, controlling students and creating a positive learning environment, there is no silver bullet, no one answer, no one workshop. All the answers of having good classroom management comes with time. As a former principal of 2 elementary schools, I always told my novice teachers, having effective classroom management is like your walk with the Lord. It is a journey. It is a process. It will not happen overnight, but eventually it will happen. After being a classroom teacher at the elementary level, middle school level, and high school level, I developed 5 tips for you. Number 1, be consistent. Consistency works. 2, discipline students in a positive way. Negativity does not work, and it hurts your career in the long run. Number 3, when dealing with middle school and high school students, always place some distance between yourself and the students when you interact with them. Number 4, I love, use the 5-second delay. When you are dealing with a student in a discipline matter, 5 seconds. You say what you need to, then you wait. When that student responds, you wait. Because sometimes with them students, if you don't wait for the 5 seconds, some of them jokers will make you grab that. And number 5, don't have a sense of fear. Even if you are afraid, fake it. Whereas dealing with parents is totally different. And in dealing with parents, I use what I call the Oprah approach. Here are the 5 tips that I came up with the Oprah approach. Number 1, be positive. Number 2, always be professional. Number 3, carefully craft what you are going to say. You, the classroom teacher, needs to open up the conference or meeting. Let the parents talk. And what I usually do is shake my head and listen carefully to hear what the parent is saying so that I can agree with some of the things that has been said. 4, state your point and close with, thank you so very much for coming. Yes, together we can make a difference. But with number 5, when parents become disruptive and negative, always be professional. I would sit there as a teacher and as an administrator and let them talk. If they get ugly, this is what I put in my head. This too shall pass. This too shall pass. And I let them go on and let them go on, and I say to myself, now I need my check at the end of the month because I got to pay my car note and my house note. Because you are the professional. You sit there quietly because actually you have the power. Because once that situation is over, that's when you need to take action. Another element of today's topic deals with strength. Emotional strength, as well as spiritual strength. Having and modeling strength are essential to last in the teaching profession. If you don't have the strength at the very beginning of teaching, sometimes simply look at others. About 3 weeks ago, I remember this vividly. In 1963, my elementary principal, Mr. Morris, came into my 2nd grade teacher's classroom, and he whispered something to the teacher, Mrs. Evelyn Coleman. I always remember my teacher standing there, holding back her tears to announce that President John F. Kennedy had been shot and had been killed. And she said, class, school is over. Mrs. Coleman modeled emotional and spiritual strength, assuring her students that everything was going to be all right. Years later, she said an impactful example for me when I and other administrators had to walk throughout the school from classroom to classroom to tell the students about the 9/11 attack. There are moments in your career you will have to abandon your feelings of fear, being emotional, to model calmness, being courageous during the code red events at your school, possible tornado alerts, students sometimes having a gun in the building, and other disastrous events. How you, the teacher, respond will leave an indelible mark on the lives of your students. The next tip will greatly assist you, and you'll have a great and promising career. Listen to the positive elders of the profession once you enter the profession. Enter the teaching profession willing to learn. I remember this quote when I was working at the National School of Excellence in Brunswick, Georgia. And the quote said, "God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth. You should listen twice as much as you talk." Once a former principal, Miss Pam Lewis, who was one of the most powerful principals in the state of Georgia, and she headed a National School of Excellence, told me the following. She said this in 1987, "Morris, always take advantage of opportunities that come your way, because they don't come your people's way quite often in this state of Georgia." I looked at that lady and I didn't respond. I didn't get upset, but she went on to say this. "The reason why I am telling you this is because with your people, especially black males, after integration in Georgia, black males, especially administrators, were relegated to minor roles in education." She said black principals became assistant principals, and they only dealt with discipline, never instruction and assessment. She said many were not allowed to become principals of schools in many small towns. So she said, "Morris, always remember, every time an opportunity comes your way to advance, take it." And I took it. Each opportunity came, and normally I never wanted it. From becoming department chair in my 20s, the newly created teacher support specialist position that was created by the state of Georgia, assistant principal, assistant superintendent, and working at ASU. I always remember what Mrs. Lewis said. That same lady who is 87 years old and lives on St. Simon's Island donates to my family, the Arrington Foundation, that I am the CEO yearly. This year, 2 weeks ago, she sent me a check for $2,000. And I called her up and I said, "Ms. Lewis, you added too many zeros to your $200. She said, "Morris, I believe in what you are doing." One decision I made, it truly enriched my entire career forever. 38 years ago, a man who served as Human Resource Director in Brunswick invited me to Sunday dinner with his family. I really didn't know the man, and I really didn't want to go to dinner. And I wonder, well, I must be a poor looking something for that man to think that he needs to give me some food. But I went. That man mentored me my entire career as a teacher, assistant principal, assistant superintendent. That man was the late Dr. John Colbreth, the first African-American superintendent here in Doren County, and who was a very, very proud graduate of ASU. He became chairman of the Georgia PSC Commission. He worked here in the education department, and over the years, for every high, every promotion, every peak, every valley, every event, every death in my family, Dr. Colbreth was there. But Dr. Colbreth taught me a lesson, young people, young graduates, that I will always remember. He said, take time to notice students who are unnoticed, especially the quiet ones at ASU. He always kept up with ASU in sports, especially the sports program. And he would always brag about this student who was just so very good. And one day I told him, Dr. Colbreth, I know that young man because he is in my classroom. He never says anything. I had a class, and that student was one of 20 students. His name was Ed Gilbert. He never said anything. He wrote a wonderful essay that his mother was a teacher and she had a doctoral degree, and that his father was a doctor. I went to observe him at Mary Akers Middle School to watch him teach. I went there. He said nothing. I looked. He said nothing. He walked around. Those of you who've had me before, you know I'm easy to get agitated. I left. And Dr. Colbreth on the way home said, Arrington, you were in Albany? Yes, I went to Mary Akers. And I said, I saw your student, the one who you don't call Jesse Owens, Ed Gilbert. And he said, what did you see? Absolutely nothing. Dr. Colbreth said, Arrington, when you came to Glenn County, you were a good teacher, but you were not great. It is your duty to inspire and work with him. During the next semester, I sent Ed Gilbert to Sherwood Acres Elementary School. And I selected that teaching guru, that Delta diva, Dr. Stephanie Dyer, to work with Ed Gilbert. And I went to see Mr. Gilbert, and I was in absolute awe of his ability to teach. And I said, well, this cannot be. I will wait and stay several periods during the day. And I did. And each time that young man stood and delivered. That young man spoke with me. He talked with me. He gave me his background and everything. Always remember, some days things will not work out. One day is not a reflection of your teaching ability. Keep at it. And just like with students, sometimes you have to remember that even when you want them to do right, they're not going to turn in assignments. But sometimes give them a second chance. Because even with Mr. Gilbert, he started not turning in my assignments. And so what I decided to do was, you know, I have all of these different kind of strategies. I decided to use what I call the sugar-coated cyanide approach. And I do that with young people. It's like you push the reset button. You see how they are, and you go meet with them. And with Mr. Gilbert's case, I actually went to the Alice Coachman track tournament where I met his parents and spoke with his parents. He turned in his assignments, but his mother told me something very revealing that I will never forget. She said, "Professor Arrington, each session you have taught my son. He calls me up on the telephone and tells me everything he has learned." I would have never thought that that young man would have done that. He went on to work over at Monroe High School for a year. I went over there during his planning period. The last time I saw him, he asked me a question. 2 days at the end of school, he said, "Professor Arrington, why did you take time to work with me?" And this is what I stated: "Because I am a teacher. And that is how we do it at ASU. Effective teachers, Ed, see students not as they are, but how students can become. I saw potential in you, young man, because teaching is my avocation, not my vocation." And I also concluded and told him, "I did for you what Dr. John Culbreth did for me." Dr. John Culbreth was a very impactful educator throughout the state of Georgia. I believe he would appreciate the meaning of this topic, "Education is like an ancient river," because he always would quote the following lines from his favorite poem. Dr. Culbreth would always say, "I've known rivers, ancient, dusty rivers. My soul has grown deep like the rivers." Being an educator leaves a profound legacy, not only to the students that we serve, but to society as a whole. That young man, Ed Gilbert, taught me something in dealing with him. And what he taught me was this: take time to tell people thank you in education who help you. This little small token, this glass award, came from Mr. Gilbert. It says, "You make a difference." And it has my name and his name engraved in it. Now, I would have never thought that that young man would have done that. Not at all, because he did not say anything whatsoever. Always remember, as you take your professional walk, teach with your heart and your mind. And as I once told, and I know I'm not supposed to say this, I told Mr. Gilbert this. I said, something happened in Tifton, Georgia, one day going to school, back in 1986. And I said, young man, every day before I walk into a school, I recite, I pray, and I recite the 23rd Psalm. And I said, young man, I've done that as a teacher, administrator, and at district office. Prayer is so very important. It really, and not only for yourself, but for the students who you are going to serve. And I'll say, because he modeled something for me, I'm going to model that today for someone else. Dr. Stafford, would you please come to the stage? known Dr. Stafford over 40 years. And you are such a special person, so very deserving of this. And I'm not being a hypocrite, just stand here. When Dean Medlin went through and said we had to take a reading course this summer, I pitched a fit. I hollered and hooped and carried on and said I was going to quit. And Dr. Stafford talked to me. And she said, you will enjoy it. Not only did I take that one course, I ended up taking 9 other courses because I just like to learn. Miss Gilmore. You know, I'm talking about it when it's script, don't come with it. Please come to the stage. This is for you because you have worked so very hard with these students. And you know you have to be a special person to get 2 baskets for me. But also what I want to tell you, and I want to say this. I'm speaking from all the teachers at Thomasville High School, the high school that you graduated from. And I was one of her teachers. You have done an excellent job. I am so very, very proud of you. And I want you to know that. But I also know that I can't stay with you forever. I can't. 45 years is a long time. Can't stay with you forever. I'm tired. And the last one, she's not here, is Dr. Porter. Dr. Porter is such a wonderful person. And it is because of Dr. Porter that I still am working. 7 years ago, I told Dr. Porter that I was going to quit because I had to take care of my mom, because my mom took care of me. And Dr. Porter said, oh no, please don't leave. She said, well, this time instead of in person, you'll teach online. I said, I can't teach anybody if you don't teach online. And so she allowed me to come through. So I wanted to go through and let her know that she's so very special. And I'm going to close with this. I'm going to close with what Dr. Martin Luther King told some college students in South Carolina. And it used to be my mantra when I was working with children. And he said, whatever your life's work is, you should do it well. Even if it is not one of the so-called big professions, you should do it well. Every man, woman, and child should do his job so well that even the unborn can do it no better. If it falls your lot to be a street sweeper, sweep streets as Michelangelo painted pictures, sweep streets as Beethoven composed music, sweep streets as Shakespeare wrote poetry, sweep streets so well that all the hosts of heaven and earth will say, here lies a street sweeper who swept his job well. If you can't be a pine at the top of the hill, then be a scrub in the valley. If you can't be the sun, then be a star. If you can't be a highway, then be a trail. It isn't the size that you win or fail in life, but be the very best at whatever you are. And graduates, and half of you I have taught you, I am so very proud of you. Good night. I can enjoy my
Arrington, on behalf of the School of Education, we would like to present you with this token of our appreciation for being our speaker. And it says, School of Education, pending ceremony speaker, Mr. Morris Arrington, Fall 2025. Thank you so much.
As well, as Mr. Arrington stated, he was my teacher. And the teacher and the student have arrived. To whom much is given, much is required. Mr. Arrington, you have left an indelible mark in my life. You never gave up on me. You believed in me. And I thank you for that. I truly thank you for that. And to me, as well as my teachers in Thomasville and those who are in the midst of us in the School of Ed, you're truly the GOAT. And it would only be befitting to medallion you as the GOAT in the School of Education for 45 years.
And my last thing is, students, I want you to know, she had her 40th class reunion. I had never been to a reunion like that. The students who graduated, she awarded them new diplomas. I thought that that was one of the most creative events I had ever seen. And those students, who were about 50-something, were so extremely proud. You always do an excellent job.
Wow, thank you, Dr. Arrington. You all, please give Dr. Arrington a big round of applause. Amazing. Look at you all stand for him. That was amazing. Thank you for sharing your Teddy story. Thank you for giving our graduates tips for success. Thank you for sharing your heartfelt story from your childhood. Thank you so much, Dr. Arrington. So, the moment we have all come here for, the why. We're here to celebrate the milestone with our teacher ed graduates. We're also excited to acknowledge their accomplishments. Remember, tonight isn't just about pens and degrees. It's about all that you all have become along the way. It's about the difference makers you all have become. So we'll start with our ceremony with that. Dr. DeQueer and Dr. Stafford will present our pens and our graduates. If you are going to be pinning one of our students, then we need you to line up on the right side of the stage, and the students will line up on the left. We call by their program area. We'll start with elementary ed. So when your student's elementary ed is called, then you need to line up as well. We'll come together in the middle, and you all will all exit to the left. Okay, with that, Dr. DeQueer and Dr. Stafford.
Good evening. I am Dr. Betty Stafford, and I am the elementary coordinator, graduate advisor, and it is my pleasure at this point in time to take you into the next phase of our program. Albany State University School of Education offers the Bachelor of Science in Elementary Education, and it is designed to prepare students for teaching positions in pre-K through 5 classrooms. The program allows candidates to teach concentrations in areas such as language arts, reading, mathematics, science, or social studies. Graduates are equipped with the necessary skills and knowledge to effectively educate young learners and are eligible for initial teacher certification in Georgia. In Georgia, the initial certification for educators is the Induction Certificate Level 4. This certificate is issued to educators who have met all requirements, including completion of a Georgia PSC approved educator preparation program and satisfactory performance evaluations. Before we officially begin the pinning ceremony, we would like to recognize academic excellence in the School of Education. For the fall 2025 student teaching semester, this student has earned the highest GPA. Please join me in congratulating Logan Marshall. Logan will now read her student teaching reflection with us.
internship at Turner Elementary School in Albany, Georgia, I had the privilege of teaching 5th grade mathematics and growing profoundly as an inspiring educator. This experience allowed me to fully immerse myself in the daily rhythm of teaching, planning lessons, managing the classroom, building meaningful relationships, and guiding students towards academic success. A quote that inspired me throughout this journey comes from Brad Henry. A good teacher can inspire hope, ignite the imagination, and instill a love of learning. This quote shaped my approach as I work to understand the power and significance of a teacher's influence. One of the greatest lessons I learned as a student intern was the importance of reaching every learner through flexible strategies. Teaching math to a wide range of students required hands-on models, visuals, scaffold steps, one-on-one support, and technology-based tools. Creating a classroom where students feel seen, supported, and safe to engage in challenging thinking was essential. Building strong relationships allowed students to ask questions, share ideas, and take risks in their learning. Reflection became a cornerstone of my growth. Considering each lesson, evaluating student responses, and making thoughtful adjustments helped me to become impactful, technologically competent, and adaptable educator who fosters meaningful learning experiences for all students. Overall, my time at Turner Elementary has been incredibly meaningful and transformative. It strengthened my passion for teaching and gave me a deeper understanding of what it really means to be passionate, reflective, and committed to helping students succeed. I am excited to carry these lessons forward as I continue my journey in education. In closing, at Albany State University, where excellence is the standard, I have been equipped with skills, guidance, and experiences to make a meaningful and lasting difference in lives of my students. I am proud to carry forward the lessons, relationships, and growth for my student teaching as I continue my journey to becoming an impactful, adaptable, technologically competent, and reflective educator. Thank you.
Thank you, Logan, for sharing your experiences and insights. Now, let us formally begin the pinning ceremony in celebration of our candidates' achievements. At this time, I ask that all elementary education candidates please come forward and face the audience. Will those individuals who pin the candidate please come forward and face the candidate you will pin. The first candidate is Alicia Anderson, degree major, Bachelor of Science, Education, school assignment, Robert H. Harvey Elementary School, Albany, Georgia, first grade, all content, Doren County School District, superintendent's name, Mr. Kenneth Dyer, principal's name, Dr. Karen Riggins, mentor teacher, Mrs. Cassandra Jackson, university supervisor, Dr. Valerie Williams.
Okay.
Alicia Anderson is penned by Mr. Roy Eady and Miss Alita Lockett. Science, elementary education, school assignment, Ocopilco Elementary, Moultrie, Georgia, third grade, math. School district, Colquitt County, superintendent's name, Mr. Dan Chapius, principal's name, Dr. Gistice Brown, mentor teacher, Ms. Shay Riddle, university supervisor, Mr. Morris Arrington. Brittany Brinkley is penned by Dr. McQueer. Taylor Brown, Bachelor's of Science, Elementary Education, School Assignment, Dougherty County Pre-K. Albany, Georgia, Pre-K all subjects, School District Dougherty, Superintendent Mr. Kenneth Dyer, Principal Dr. Gail Solomon, Mentor Teacher Mrs. Cicely West Shazer, University Supervisor Mrs. Zeporia Gilmore. Taylor Brown is penned by Dr. Gertrude Robinson and Hagwa Salim. Jessica Bryan, Bachelor's of Science, Elementary Education, School Assignment, Seminole County Elementary, Donaldsonville, Georgia, 2nd grade, Math and Science, School District, Seminole County. Superintendent's name, Mr. Mark Ernest. Principal's name, Truett Johnson. Mentor Teacher, Ms. Hannah Dukes. University Supervisor, Letitia Austin. Jessica is penned by Ms. Zeporia Gilmore. Kimberly Hooks, Bachelor's of Science in Elementary Education, Radium Springs Elementary, Albany, Georgia, Kindergarten, all subjects, Dougherty County, Mr. Kenneth Dyer, Superintendent, Principal, Mrs. Valerie McGee, Mentor Teacher, Ms. Heather Rosiskrins, University Supervisor, Dr. Valerie Williams. Kimberly Hooks is penned by Ms. Trina Faulkner. Bachelor's of Science, Elementary Education, Turner Elementary School, Albany, Georgia, 5th grade Math, Dougherty County, Superintendent Mr. Ken Dyer, Principal Ms. Bernice Grace, Mentor Teacher Ms. Jasmine Gilbert, University Supervisor Dr. Valerie Williams. Logan is penned by Veronica Bolton and Gwendolyn Ivey. Rivers, Bachelor of Science, Elementary Education, Albany State Early Learning Center, Albany, Georgia, Pre-K, all subjects. Director, Ms. Kimberly Barney. Mentor Teacher, Ms. Tamala Thomas. University Supervisor, Ms. Zeporia Gilmore. Azariah is penned by Mr. Sidney Wilson and Mrs. Tamika Brown Hill. Kennedy Stevenson, Bachelor of Science Elementary Education, Claremont Elementary, Decatur, Georgia, first grade, all subjects, school district, city schools of Decatur, Superintendent Dr. Guyman Whitaker, Principal Tabrarian Lockwood, Mentor Teacher Jillian Fowler, University Supervisor Dr. Owansu Ansa Anthony. Kennedy is penned by Catherine Stevenson and Corey Woodruff. Brittany Taylor, Bachelor's of Science Elementary Education, Reading Elementary School, Albany, Georgia, first grade, all subjects, Florida County. Mr. Kenneth Dyer, Superintendent. Principal, Ms. Valerie McGee. Mentor Teacher, Ms. Maria Jackson. Brittany is penned by Ms. Maria Jackson and Ms. Valerie McGee. Please join me in giving the elementary education teachers a round of applause.
Okay, we're going to change up a little bit. Dr. DeQueer, her voice is really scratchy, so we're going to save her. And we'll begin with middle grades education, Bachelor of Science degrees. Albany State University School of Ed offers the Bachelor of Science in Middle Grades Education. It is a program designed to prepare students for teaching positions in grade 4 through 8. The program allows candidates to select 2 teaching concentrations from areas such as language arts, mathematics, science, or social studies. Graduates are equipped with the necessary skills and knowledge to effectively educate adolescent learners and are eligible for initial teacher certification in Georgia. In Georgia, the initial certification for educators is the induction certificate, which is a level 4. The certificate is issued to educators who have met all the requirements, including completion of a Georgia PSC approved educator preparation program and satisfactory performance evaluations. At this time, I ask that our middle grades candidate please come forward, and we're here, and those who will be penning should also come forward. Sharteria Blackwell, Bachelor's of Science in Middle Grades Education. Robert A. Cross Middle Magnet School was her assignment in Albany, Georgia. 8th grade Georgia Studies is the subject. The school district is Doherty County, with the superintendent being Mr. Kenneth Dyer. The principal at her school is Mr. Christopher Sharp. Mentor teacher, Crystal Curry. University supervisor is Ms. Zeporia Gilmore, please wave. And she is being penned by Shay Durant and Pranasha Sapp. Thank you. Next, we have a candidate for the Bachelor of Science in Health and Physical Education. Albany State University School of Ed offers a Bachelor of Science degree in General Education, preparing candidates to teach students across various academic disciplines, including English education, science education, music education, health and physical ed, and special education. These programs equip future educators with the knowledge and skills necessary to excel in diverse classroom settings. Upon completion of the program, graduates are awarded a Bachelor of Science in Ed Education and are eligible for the State of Georgia Induction Level 4 certificate. This certificate qualifies them to teach in public schools throughout Georgia. Will our physical education graduate please come forward? and the candidate who will be pinning them, please come forward. Our candidate is Mr. Rico Finn. He is getting a Bachelor's of Science in Health and Physical Education. Not getting, has completed, I'm sorry. The school assignment was in Decatur, Georgia, grades 6 through 8. He was working in health and PE. Dr. Whitaker is the superintendent. The principal's name is Alexis Glenn. The mentor teacher, Mr. Wesley Philippe. And university supervisor is Dr. Anthony. He is being pinned today by Octavia Jones and Miss Nee Bartholomew. Thank you. Certification-only programs in special education. Albany State University's School of Education offers a post-baccalaureate certificate-only program for candidates seeking initial certification from the Georgia Professional Standards Commission. These candidates have already earned their Bachelor of Science degree, but have enrolled in certification-only programs to earn their teaching certificate. This program leads to an induction level 4 teaching certificate in various fields, including middle grades, secondary, P through 12, and career and technical fields. This certification qualifies them to teach in public schools throughout Georgia. The candidate for initial certification in special education, please come forward along with the person who will be pinning them. Our certification-only special education candidate is Ms. Tammy James, in special education. Her school assignment, Weaver Middle School in Macon, Georgia, 8th grade, English and Language Arts. The school district again, Bibb County. The superintendent, Dr. Dan Simmons. Principal, Dr. Nichols. The mentor teacher, Dr. Sabrina Hill. Dr. Tony is the university supervisor, and she is being pinned tonight by Dr. Hill and Ms. Starr. Please give her a hand. Congratulations again to all of the class of 2025 graduates. Remember, teachers don't just teach, they anchor, ignite, and lift. Be that teacher. So at this time, Mrs. Zeporia Gilmore our building clinical director, will lead the graduates in reading the teacher's creed. You should have a copy at your seat. Afterwards, we'll have closing remarks from Dr. Peter Nwafu, and then we will celebrate with some refreshments.
Good evening, everyone. As we gather today under the theme, like ancient rivers, nurturing depth, strength, and legacy in education, we're reminded that teaching is a profession grounded in purpose, sustained by passion. Our student candidates are preparing to step into classrooms where their words, their actions, and commitment will shape futures just as rivers shape the land. Teaching is the foundation upon which all other professions are built. Every doctor, engineer, scientist, artist, and leaders has been shaped by a teacher who cared, guided, and inspired them. Today, our candidates step forward with the responsibility to do what is right for the children, to nurture their growth, and to ensure that every student has the opportunity to reach their full potential. At this time, I ask that all our candidates please stand as we affirm who we are as educators and who we aspire to be. The creed we're about to share represents the heartbeat of our work, a promise to teach with integrity, compassion, adaptability, and excellence. It reflects the legacy we carry and the legacy we will leave. You will repeat each line after me as we declare our commitment to this noble profession. With pride, with humility, and with a deep sense of responsibility, I now present to you the Teacher's Grade. I pledge to honor the sacred trust of teaching.
I pledge to honor the sacred trust of teaching.
To guide with wisdom, compassion, and integrity.
To guide with wisdom, compassion, and integrity.
I will be a reflective practitioner, learning and growing with every experience.
I will be a reflective practitioner, learning and growing with every experience.
I will be an impactful practitioner, inspiring minds and shaping hearts.
I will be an impactful practitioner, inspiring minds and shaping hearts.
I will remain adaptable, meeting the needs of every learner with creativity and care.
I will remain adaptable, meeting the needs of every learner with creativity and care.
I will be a technological competent practitioner, embracing tools and innovation and expanding learning.
I will be a technologically competent practitioner, embracing tools and innovation to expand learning.
I will nurture strength, depth, and resilience.
I will nurture strength, depth, and resilience.
Fostering curiosity, courage, and a lifelong love of learning.
Fostering curiosity, courage, and a lifelong love of learning.
I commit to leaving a lasting legacy in education.
I commit to leaving a lasting legacy in education.
I recognize that teaching is the foundation of all professions.
I recognize that teaching is the foundation of all professions.
And I commit to doing what is right for every child, empowering them to achieve their dreams.
And I commit to doing what is right for every child and empowering them to achieve their dreams.
I am a teacher.
I am a teacher.
I am a lifelong learner.
I am a lifelong learner.
I am a steward of knowledge, shaping the future, one mind and one heart at a time.
I am a steward of knowledge, shaping the future, one mind and one heart at a time.
As we stand together, having recited the Teacher's Creed, I honor the dedication and passion and promise each of you brings to teaching. On your seat is a certificate recognizing your hard work. Take a moment to reflect on your accomplishment. Congratulations, and carry this pride into every classroom you enter. Remember, the dedication you have shown here today is the same dedication that will inspire your students for years to come. You may be seated. Thank you.
Let's give one more round of applause to Ms. Gilmore and our students. Good evening, everyone. As Mrs. Hubbard indicated a while ago, my name is Peter Mwaku, and I'm delighted to serve as the Dean of the College of Business, Education and Professional Studies here at Albany State University. I would like to begin this evening by thanking our guests, parents, partners, and mentors for taking time away from their other commitments this evening to join us as we celebrate the academic achievements of our students. As I sat here listening to what the pinning ceremony means, I am convinced that it marks far more than a symbolic tradition. It represents a sacred passage from preparation to purpose, from student to professional. Since Albany State University adopted this ceremony in 2001, it has stood as a powerful reminder that teaching is not done alone. It is entered with guidance, responsibility, and the support of your community. To our teacher candidates, today you accept the pen not only as a tool of instruction, but as a pledge to lifelong learning, ethical practice, and unwavering service to the lives you will shape. As you embark upon your field experiences, you do so strengthened by a community that believes in you and in your path. To our veteran and retired educators who serve as mentors, your willingness to embrace the novice professional embodies the very heart of the penning tradition. You are living bridges between experience and aspiration. And we are profoundly grateful to your continued investment in the next generation of teachers. I extend sincere appreciation to the faculty and leadership of the School of Education for preserving this time-honored tradition, for upholding professional standards, and for preparing educators who will lead with excellence and compassion. On behalf of the College of Business, Education, and Professional Studies, I congratulate each of you on this milestone. May you carry the pen with confidence, humility, and purpose as you step forward into one of the most noble professions in society. Congratulations and best wishes on your journey. Before we close tonight, let me take a moment to acknowledge some of our administrators who are here with us this evening. Dr. Terry Lindsay, Vice President for Academic Affairs, for Student Affairs, Dr. Jason Armstrong, Associate Dean and Interim Professor and Vice President for Academic Affairs here at Albany State University. So have a great evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Nwafu and Ms. Gilmore, for your creed. At this time, we're going to have a recessional for our graduates, and you all can follow them out. So we'll let them lead first. Graduates, please stand.